Morning glory and evening grace, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt from Orlando and the National Convention of the American Legislative Exchange Council, ALEC.org. Incoming national chair of ALEC is my guest right now, State Senator from Arkansas, Jim Dotson. Senator, welcome. I want to cut to the chase. Why do you belong to ALEC and why do you want to be the chairman of it?
Well, ALEC is a great organization that believes in free market principles, principles of limited government, and shoot, I'm blanking there. Federalism, free markets, and limited government. Those are the three pillars.
Excellent catch. That was a fastball.
That was a off the top of the head. But so those principles align with all the ALEC policies that they promote throughout the states, and those are principles that I align with. So, it's a natural pathway that together. And so since I've been in the legislature over the last 13 and a half years, I have been part of ALEC and, over the last half a dozen years been part of the board and will now be the incoming chair next year.
10 years in the Arkansas House,
Yep.
4 years in the Arkansas Senate. You've had two governors, right?
I've actually served under three.
Three?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders is an acquaintance of mine, a friend, Brian's a friend. How's she doing?
She's doing great. Yep, she should win re-election easily in November and start her second term next year. Arkansas has had a advancement in a number of areas under her governorship. So it's been, from a conservative perspective, it's been great. We had 8 years of a trifecta before her, and then my first 2 years we had a Democrat governor. And prior to joining the legislature, we'd been a Democrat-controlled state for 138 years.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
actually,
it's a sea change.
So, school choice passed in Arkansas.
Yes.
How's it working? And how does it work? Everyone's got a little different design.
We do have universal school choice. This last year was the first year. We had a 3-year phase-in. It was Governor Sanders' top priority when she came in was education reform. So we reformed education across the board with our Arkansas Learns Act. I've been an advocate for school choice throughout my entire time in the legislature. I think I ran the first universal school choice bill in Arkansas in 2017. And so, fast forward a few years later, we get a governor there that's pushing it, as well as legislative leadership on both ends, and we got it over the finish line. Third year of implementation, we are now universal school choice. We've got 44,000 students last year on the program. It was about a $309 million program last year. We've put another $70 million aside for growth this year. We've got over 50,000 applications for the school education freedom accounts. 90% of the state foundation funding for traditional public schools follow the student to this education freedom account that they can allocate the resources for curriculum. They can allocate it toward tuition, tutors, various educational expenses, kind of like a health savings account.
So when people come up to you on the street and they say, Senator, do they bring up that? Do they like that?
It's not the first thing that everybody brings up. If you have a student, it is definitely something that you really like. If you're a parent, we have a lot of teachers and a lot of educators that participate in the program themselves as well. There's mixed reviews within the education community because change is change, and if that's part of your livelihood, you don't necessarily care for change. So there was some resistance at first, but I think now that we've got close to 10% of the state population of students participating in the program, you have a lot more buy-in.
That's
across
after 3
people.
years.
So yeah, this last year was the first year of universal. So we went from, I think, about 5,000 the first year to around, I want to say 13 or 14,000 the second year to about 44,000 this last year, and we should be getting close to 50. I think we've had over 50, close to 55 applicants this year for the upcoming school year. Not all of them will of course stay with the program. So I'm going to guess somewhere around 50,000 maybe for the upcoming school year.
Well, congratulations on that. That's a big standing start to go that far, that fast. Let's turn to voter integrity, because that's also the subject du jour this year is data centers, and we can talk about that if you want to. But you're number one in the Heritage rankings for voter integrity. What does Arkansas do?
Well, we have done a number of things since Republicans took over the legislature in 2013. We have done a number of things from voter ID to ensuring that no voting machine is connected to the internet, to I'm blanking on all the things. We've probably had close to 25 bills a session ever since I've been in the legislature dealing in some way with voter integrity. So there's been a number of things that have happened throughout the years, but we do have the safest, most secure elections in the country, according to
when
national
you look
rankings.
at California, which is no longer my home, but was for 27, 28 years, and you see that they can't finish counting for 2 weeks. What do you think?
It's intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably stories that I've heard from legislators and various politicians before I was in it was back in the day when they had the paper ballots with the hanging chads. Some people don't remember hanging chads. Yeah. When I talk to them about, I'm like, okay, you're under the age of 30.
25 or 30.
Yeah. But back in those days, the Democrat politicians would laugh at the Republicans out in the state knocking on doors trying to get votes because they said all the ballots are in the trunk over here. Yeah. We just got to know how many boxes to pull out on election night. And so they controlled the state elections at the time. And so I think that's probably what people are concerned about when they talk about elections in various states. Of course, we don't have any type of vote harvesting like some states have it in their laws. We have banned any of that. You have to, I think we have a 6 voter limit. So if you take care of some folks, you can't take care of more than 6 people and help them, assist them in. So if someone is, works with elderly or something like that, and they're taking them to the polls, their limit is 6, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Now, I do want to check out the data center question. Is that an issue in Arkansas?
There's been talk about it over the last several years. We've passed some laws, and fortunately, Arkansas is one of those states that we're only in session to deal with substantive issues every other year, and so it has not blown up in our face in the last year like it has in other areas because, of course, we weren't in session this year for it to happen.
Are you a Razorback?
Yes.
Malik Thomas is coming to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cavaliers drafted him. He was your off-ball guard. Did you go watch him play ball at all this year? This kid lit up the Summer League in Las Vegas. He got the MVP in the Summer League.
Okay.
So, go Razorbacks.
Go Razorbacks.
Just check it. Have they had the crazy stuff that's happened? I was just talking with the Speaker of Michigan. University of Michigan's off the rails in a lot of ways. Has that happened in Arkansas?
NIL?
Well, not NIL. I mean politics. Student marches, student demonstration, crazy professor kind of stuff.
I think overall the University of Arkansas has done a fairly decent job in holding a lot of that type of stuff in check. There's always going to be certain elements and student organizations that do some things, but I have a very good relationship with the chancellor and with various leadership within the U of A, and they have always been very proactive in addressing situations as they arise.
And so, since you brought up NIL, Arkansas is the stepchild of the SEC, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you do about it?
We're not number one in that.
Indiana turned it around in 1 year. They went and hired Kurt Signetti, and all of a sudden they're national champions. Does Arkansas look up and say, "Hey, why can't we do that?"
Well, I mean, I think basketball is going to be our year.
Malik's pretty good.
I mean, football. I mean, we're hopeful. We got a new coach this year, and Arkansas Razorbacks. We're always hopeful.
So, in terms of flat taxes, where's Arkansas on that? You guys have flat tax yet?
So it's an interesting question in that our highest rate has been cut almost in half since I've been in office. We went from a 7% income tax down to right now 3.7%, which we enacted just the last couple of months. And so we've come down significantly, but we're not going to be ranked in the flat taxes because we have rates that are below. That's our top income tax rate, and our lowest is 0. So until we get to 0, we won't be flat tax.
But
because we have to raise taxes on somebody else.
Tennessee. Does everyone go to Tennessee instead of Arkansas as a result of that? Does anyone make their decision based on that?
I think there are probably some that do. We have a lot of other factors that go into, so we have been one of the top states for in-migration, domestic migration in the last several years. I think 2 or 3 of the last years, we've been 1 or 2 in migration states.
Well, I hear about that from Senator Cotton a lot, and I'm going to get down there again at some point. I've only been to Little Rock once, but I want to thank you.
Come to Northwest Arkansas, the home of the Razorbacks. Bentonville is where I'm from. You got to come to the northwest portion of the state.
I can't make a promise, but fetching Mrs. Hewitt's open to almost anything. Jim Dotson, good to see you, Senator. Thank you for joining me. Don't go anywhere, America. I'll be right back on the Hugh Hewitt Show.